Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Prison Architect. Today's beverage is a nice banana milkshake, which was 10 pence at the local supermarket because it was on a buy it today and drink it, otherwise it's completely undrinkable tomorrow, which is obviously not true, but I'm a sucker for a bargain and it's still within date and tasty. Either way, welcome back to Prison Architect, where in the previous episodes we were doing the Extreme Testing Initiative, which was all about inducing certain unnatural events in the facility. Well, some of them are unnatural, some of them can happen if you are running it very badly, but we put it through its paces, and then we also escaped from the prison as well, mainly using a rolling pin to dig out through this wall here. So overall, the end results were promising. There was not really any big holes or problems with the facility in terms of security or maybe potential issues with navigation and patrols, etc. The only couple of changes that we may want to make is adding in a door control system in that jail door and that jail door, but it's not normally a big problem. Also, maybe some more patrols around here and certainly a metal detector there just in case people nick something from this area, go around and out, which doesn't normally occur, and I don't think it can occur, but it's just an added bit of extra security. But other than that, there's really not many changes that we would like to make. Now, I want to clarify a couple of things in this. This is more of an extra episode, to be honest with you. I want to clarify a couple of things. Firstly, we're going to take a look at our death row inmate, and we will go through the entire process, as in we'll go through death row appeals, and then if that works and their sentence is reduced to life imprisonment, that's as far as we go. If it goes further through the process, then obviously we'll go through the standard procedure and whatnot. I'm not overly keen on doing that, quite frankly, but a lot of people request it, and quite frankly, people watch the videos, so who am I to argue? So we'll go through that, and then I'll also clarify a few things, and we'll check out to see what this is like in 3D. So, clarifications. A couple of people have said that there was wrong symmetry in the gardens. Yes, that is true. These heather bush should be changed with the hydrangeas. It's not a total 100% symmetrical thing because the dinosaurs on the right and the dinosaurs on the left there, but, well, I think we'll live with that one. There was a couple of lighting problems that people mentioned, but that was fixed between the sort of last episode and the little extra bit that I did and put out at the end of that. There was also a couple of windows missing from these ones, which I fixed, so I don't need to clarify that one. People still mentioning the TVs, saying that they are the wrong way around. No, the TVs are the right way around. I'm not sure if trolling or simply don't understand what a CRT TV is. So you can see that's the front of the TV, that is the back. I know they look similar, but when you mouse over them, it does show you the area effect, which is on these beds here. So there you are. And the similar thing for death row as well. So it is all facing the correct area where it needs to, so that is fine. A lot of people also saying we need to remove the PA system, and that's because it increases danger level. Not so. I did check. I didn't think it caused it, but I wanted to check anyway, and sure enough, it says it suppresses prisoners by issuing regular reminders that they are in fact still in prison. Increases the suppression felt by inmates when placed in a cell block or yard. So increases suppression, not increases the danger level. So you can see it says 63 prisoners are suppressed and compliant, but it doesn't increase anything else on there, so they are fine. By the way, the danger level is heading down, and that's probably for a couple of reasons. Firstly, I've given them 2 hours more free time just while we play this because I want to have that drop. And also, after I recorded the last build episode, I think episode 20, there was a big patch, and, well, it naturally seemed to have changed something because the danger level was dropping right down. I don't know whether that is total coincidence and it was to do with the alterations we made at the last episode, or whether there was genuinely a bug in there, or whatever. Either way, the takeaway point is that it is now sort of fixed. We have our death row inmate here. We're going to have a look at them. So this is Andrew Sloan Range Assault, although the picture is custom and it says Tristan Campion. Why not? Age 20, prisoner number 102685. Andrew was arrested after a 3-year manhunt for the notorious crime of unscrewing the lids from salt cellars in restaurants right around the globe, creating oversalted food everywhere. Worse yet, he never washed his hands after using the bathroom. Heresy, especially these days. Anyway, sentenced to 120 years for multiple crimes, including murder, attempted murder, and armed robbery. They have a girlfriend, a mother, and a father. They have convictions. All of their pleas are not guilty, I should point out. So it is murder, 25 years, murder, 25 years, attempted murder, 19 years, armed robbery, 22 years, and 3 counts of torture, 10, 7, and 12 years, respectively. So there you are. And we have them on a death row appeal. We are going to run through that. If they have a 32% likelihood of clemency. So pretty much a 1 in 3 chance of having their sentence reduced from simply death row to life imprisonment. Which is, yeah, it's 1 in 3 chance. So if that happens, then we won't do anything. I'm just going to speed up to max speed. And I'm going to remove the tunnels. Speaking of the tunnels, yes, I know we didn't use... Is that guy fighting away? Yeah, he's actually fighting... No, he's just punching the bed. There you go. Yeah, we did manage to dig out quite a way with some tools that we stole. In fact, we dug out all the way with tools that we stolen, but the main one was by nicking rolling pins from here, and we did get quite far. I guess we could put some more patrols there, or even put in a bigger wall. There's no reason why this fence can't be a wall, because we don't have patrols around the outside. If I was to do anything to make it more secure, it would be to add in another walkway along here, and then have a dog patrol going right up and down, because it was very easy to dig very, very fast, especially with the amount of people working, and all of the things that they have access to. Either way, we can see that we have some people in death row here, and... Oh, hang on. Are they kicking off? I don't know what's happening there. That's an appeals lawyer. That's a parole lawyer. That's an appeals magistrate, and that's a parole officer. So this is death row appeals. So death row appeals, if we check this out, it says... Hang on, let's see if we can find it here. It says death row appeal. One place is one session, and led by an appeals magistrate in a parole room, assisted by appeals lawyer, 4 hours, and requires a visitor table, etc. So once they've gone through that, the assault, if I can find Salt, where is he? He is elsewhere. He might have his sentence reduced, so you can see they're currently shackled up there. They've currently got manacles on, and they're handcuffed, but they're being escorted to the parole room. So even though this is not... What on earth? They were escorted to the parole room to death row appeal, and now they're being escorted back. I'm not convinced that guard is giving Salt here his fair hearing. And we're all about the fair hearings. What if he gets brought back? Death row inmate status. Their likelihood of clemency is now reduced to 16%. Alright. So we're still going to keep running the death row appeals. We're still going to do that. Danger level has dropped right down. We have some prisoners who say they have been unnecessarily searched, and some of them with serious complaints. However, that is now under 10. So even though it's under 10, danger level is still increasing. I'm going to do a shakedown in all sectors because, well, why not? See what we can find. This isn't something that I'll be saving anyway, so it doesn't really matter. There's been a lot of requests to continue with this facility and also to sell it and then build from there. I'm ruling out both for different reasons. I'm not going to expand because this was all about the reform and all about the second chances and the new buildings, which we have very successfully integrated into the space that we have here. In fact, it was added from the start and we didn't need to expand, but we wanted to in order to get a couple extra buildings, mainly the flower garden and some of the graded cells. So that was good. So we're not going to expand. If we expand to the north or to the south, it's more of the same. It's cloning, it's moving down, it's more prisoners. I don't see that to be much of a challenge, as much as people may want to see it. It's not personally interesting for me, which it has to be in order to, do these. And selling up, let's have a quick look at valuation, would give us 1.8 million. That's because of the money in the bank. So we're on 2 million. We could sell up and start on the largest map in the game, and we could build absolutely everything before we get a single prisoner. I don't know how desirable that is, but honestly, if we're doing that, we might as well just start the game with the cheat mode on and have unlimited funds, because that's essentially what it is, 2 million. Unless you're going to have the most expensive materials possible, perimeter wall for days, multiple layers thick all the way around, and completely overstaff it, you're never going to come close to burning through that. So yeah, if we were to sell, I don't think that would give us that challenge. Now we have discussed playing on a map with the cheat mode on to not have that financial burden. But I do think it gives us something. It's that, you know, the limitations make it. I can't remember what the exact saying is, but it's essentially necessity and innovation, you know. The limitations mean you have to work around it. So that danger level is flying right up. Mainly because of the searched recently thing. We'll just stop that shakedown. So we still have Andrew here to go through. I don't know what to call them, actually, because it says Andrew Salt, but it says Tristan here. But we'll call them Andrew because it says there. They have to go through this death row appeal. Again, they don't have to, actually, but they will do. And once this goes under 10%... Oh, is it 10 or 15%? I'm not sure. We do have researched in the prison bureaucracy here the death row and execution liability. So, normally, once it's at a certain point, you can... Well, I can go through the execution process now. I can schedule the execution. Oh, there you go. State approval conviction strength is 10%. I think it's 5% as standard. And you go through that process, you lock the prison down, you do all of that, etc. If, after that, it is found that the prisoner was not guilty of the crimes, then you get fined. Not that we really care about a fine, you understand, but I certainly care about the whole process and then getting it air quotes wrong. The whole death row execution stuff, capital punishment, just doesn't sit well anywhere. Just doesn't sit right. Yeah, gamifying it in the first place is a bit... Yeah, it's they're not shying away from the subject, so I can understand that, but... no. Not something I like to run through. But, anyway, I digress. We're going to go through the process regardless, because we have built the facility. And, you know, if you've got a chair, you might as well use it, right? And I wonder if they have this already scheduled. We'll see if they have any work. No, they have no recent misconduct, but they also have no work and training to speak of. The warden's calling. Oh. Apparently, we have some prisoners who have traits that make them targetable. Oh! Federal witnesses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Interesting. Didn't expect to see that. Why would I guess? Protective custody. Let's just go through then. And protective custody all these guys. I can't protective custody every single person. What I might do... Oh, there's 10 in total. I'm going to have to move some of the other people out. Good job we have the facility that's a lot larger than it needs to be. And are some of these guys ones as well? No. Just ex-law enforcement. So I've changed all those, but we have 14 and we only have 2 spaces. So I'm going to have the ex-prison guard. I'm going to change them to medium with a lockdown or lockdown permanent. So with lockdown permanent. And that should mean that all of our witnesses will be moved to protective custody and the other guys will be put in these cells here. So they're still not in a safe area, if that makes sense. But it's there. It's the best that we can do. Death row appeal. I don't know if they're going to go through that anymore. I think they go through multiple times. Can be done once every 4 days. Ah, so we have to go through every 4 days. Fair enough. Every 4 days for death row appeal. And that'll probably reduce it to under that 10%. It will probably be under that 10%. I mean, I was going to also do the 3D tour as well. Well, why not? Let's have a look then. So you go to extras, and there's a tiny little button on the bottom left, which is like a pie symbol. You click on that, and it goes to 3D. It still amazes me just how many people don't know about this mode. And it does blow people's minds. I should point out it's unplayable. The mouse doesn't center up. Not all of the items have been given proper 3D assets. And at the moment as well, it also doesn't show the correct stuff. So, for example, you can see for whatever reason, there's loads of what appears to be door control systems, I think. Or maybe that's cameras. Whatever it is, there's 1, 2, 3 of them in the freezers. And also a door in here. And they're also cooking, by the look of it, they are cooking lots of vending machines, drinks machines. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the 3D models. So you can see we've got all of the walls on the outside there. Lots of gardeners who are working away, which they do actually have a model. We have our generators as well as the capacitors around the outside and the water pump. In the armory, we have our 3D tables, but nothing else. A similar thing for the dogs as well. We have the canine guards, which are modelled in 3D, but the dogs and everything else, not just a flat sprite on the floor. In here, it's actually pretty good. We've got a phone tap. That is the door control system, and that is a scanner, I believe, but the scanner obviously hasn't got a 3D thing in there. We have a chair, which isn't just the standard sprite, but we've got the desk and the file cabinets, which are 3D. Going up into the staff room, we have these chairs, which are nice and done, and the rest of it is all okay as well. Into the main body of the facility, naturally, we have these doors which are modelled, and all of the fridges, well, all the freezers, the cookers, as well as the sinks are all modelled there. None of the stuff that's new has been modelled. Some of these guys, all the prisoners are 3D, even though they've got the old shirts on, but that's to be expected. All the chairs are modelled there as well. And yeah, whatever reason, we're getting these 3D models here for what looks to be, for I don't know, it could be cabbages or potatoes or whatever. The cells are the most interesting. Oh, wrong way. We've got the walls around them, and then you've got the bed, the toilet, and then the bookshelf, which you can see is nice and all 3D there. Weights benches are 3D, and these are at the correct height. These shower heads. There's all of our prisoners in 3D inside the canteen. Also got the phone booths as well, and actually they're actually using the phone booths there and standing right on it. Looks to be the medical facility. Metal detectors are in. These beds are in. They don't seem to be aligned correctly, but I mean that's the least of our worries, right? In and around here, laundry. We have 3D laundry stuff. Still amazes me that a lot of effort was put into this for what essentially is an Easter egg. We have what appears to be a lot of metal in here. You've got the saws, you've got the presses, you've got the license plates, all the metal. Running further back, we have our classroom. And there's the teacher who's hiding just underneath there as well. That's our shop with the shop entrance, which obviously you don't see a hole in the wall. There's all of the books for the library. Chapel. Again, nothing 3D in there apart from the prisoners. This is the mail room. Similar thing. We can have a look in the graded cells to see what theirs look like. So the high graded cells actually look quite nice, don't they? I think so anyway. We've got the bed, the floating shelf with the books on. Little chair there. TV right in front of it. See, it is the right way around. Yep, that's the front. Got like computer and such. Mug of beverage. That's alright. And then back into common rooms, which Again, have no real surprises there. And then death row, which there is our prisoner hanging around. And that's a bit of a shame. I was expecting those to be 3D, but why would there be? One of the more complex things they could have added, but yeah, not in there. Okay, I mean that's a facility. It's all in 3D. It's also quite large. So we're still waiting for our inmate to go through the death row appeal. When was the last time they went on that? So, prisoners down the bottom. There's our death row. There's Salt. Ah, they are not there. Oh, they are there. And you can see the cursor doesn't align properly with those. Cop killer, guilt of murdering a police officer. Experience. Death row appeal is failed. Doesn't tell me when. 6 days in the prison. So they probably came in here a couple of days later, done death row appeal. Punishment is high at 10. Reform is 0 because we're not doing any reform with them. Security is high at 5 because they have got a permanent lockup. It's 102%, 10 points for their stay in lockup. Health is at 0. You can see you've got well fed to increase by 1. Or, I guess, how can you get that up to level 5? They have to be eating and exercising constantly, basically, and have known related injuries or intoxication or active addictions. And work experience is, yeah, it's not very high. It's obviously tanked at 0. You can see that the background here does change, even in 3D. So the colours do change based on night and day. Alright. Anyway, I think we're going to skip ahead a little bit to when Andrew is going through their death row appeal, and wouldn't it be disappointing if they actually passed it? But we'll skip ahead to that and we'll see what the end result is. Okay, while skipping ahead, we've had another death row inmate arrive. Ian Wolven, prisoner number 7193444, sentenced to 164 years for multiple crimes, including murder, armed robbery, and grievous bodily harm. And also, there's some rape in there as well. Armed robbery, yeah, a lot. Okay, they have a likelihood of clemency of 45%. So even though they have a lot more time to serve, actually, I say that. Yes, they've actually not served any time. Yeah, Salt, you can see, had 120 years, whereas Wolven here has 164 years, but their likelihood of clemency is a lot higher, which is curious. I wonder why that is the case. 16 for Andrew, because he's already went through the process, and then Ian, who's on 45. So almost 50% chance of him having his sentence reduced. In fact, you can see both inmates are now being taken to the front of the facility because both are going to get death row appeal. So there is Wolven on the right hand side. It looks like they were taken there and then they're immediately going to be brought back. So yeah, that was a very quick one. And once they get back, we shall see just what happens. I expect Ian, well, the chances are that Ian, well, shouldn't have their sentence, but it's reduced because it's a 45%. Well, I guess it's 45% of it happening, whereas only 16 for Ian. But, you know, these things can happen, so we'll wait until the programs have ended and we'll see exactly what happens. And, yes, so Ian has had their sentence put down to life imprisonment. They're a maximum security. I'm going to change them to medium because we don't have a maximum security area. And we now have Salt, who is now being put to 8%. We will schedule the execution. So, authorize the lockdown and test the facility. Lockdown is complete. And authorize the testing of the facility. Which is not doing. Error. Power failure. Insufficient electrical power to power the chair. Ah. Okay. So we need a lot more. Even though we have excess power, we need more. So what's the best way of doing that? Well, it would be a complete overhaul of all of this. I, however, have a better idea. Sell that. And we'll try that again. No, still insufficient power. So is it possible to power this thing then? Only using this transformer? I don't think it is. I don't think this is something that's really ever been done. I'm going to have to fix that, aren't I? Okay, we've had a slight change in the energy grid, and quite frankly, it's a bit of a custom job with a K. We now have a power station in this building just so we can go through this process. We will initiate the lockdown and test the facility, and apparently even then, there is insufficient power. Really? Really? What does one actually need then to power this? What do you actually need to power it? Because these... I mean, this is a power station and all but one capacitor. Let us try that again once it's got the capacitor in. And apart from that, lights are going to have to be turned off. Insufficient electrical power. It is definitely connected up. We can clearly see this. Okay, I'll try something else. Right then, I've went with what could probably be called the most direct connection possible. We have this power station here with all of the capacitors, which I have checked to make sure they're all turned on and connected, which they are. And that goes directly to the electric chair, which says requires electricity, but, well, it is connected because we've got this power symbol here. So, as you can see, the rest is on a completely separate grid. So this power station only powers that and this... well, these couple of lights. So, if that doesn't work, then I don't know what does. We will initiate the prison-wide lockdown and test the facility, and there's still a power failure. So, that's it. I tried. That's a failure. It looks like Andrew Salt is going to live another day. I'm not even mad, quite frankly. The game is telling me, don't execute the guy, and I'm going, okay, that does say it requires electricity. I'm going to move it. I'm pretty confident it's connected up, but let's shift it over because it definitely says it's connected. But you know, I'll be accused of not trying it. Nope, that is connected, right? I mean, let's just do that. Is that it? Is that the problem? It does seem to have underneath it all of the electrical connections. So, apart from that, I don't know what else to do. These said it couldn't power it. That said it couldn't power it. This one's direct in. So unless I need to remove all of the lights, which you definitely didn't need to do previously, I don't know what we'd need to do. Is that a bug? Could be a bug. That seems to be connected. Salt. Execution. Authorize. Oh. No. There is power failure. There is insufficient electrical power to do the chair. Right, cool. So that's been Prison Architect. And what we found out is a useless execution facility. I don't know whether that's a bug or whether I've done something wrong. As far as I can tell, it is powered up correctly. It's got a full power station connected to it. It just says that it will not work. So, schedule. Test. The electrical supply for the chair is tested under load. In addition, the final route of the prisoner is planned out. He must be able to walk to the execution room himself. Power failure. Yep, can't get any further. I would like to know what you think is the problem with that, and I'm happy to accept that I've messed it up. But, sadly, my skills are exhausted. That's been a little look at the latest facility that we've made with the Second Chances DLC. We've done the 3D tour. I've discussed a couple of changes that's been made. And books are on the side. Yes, and also clarified some things as well. Yeah, things seem to be a bit better with the recent patch, but apparently not all is well. But I don't know whether that's me. But we tried to go through that process. It failed. Not even mad. Well, mad that we can't go through the process because what appears to be a bug, but not mad because, well, I don't really like going through that process anyway. But that is going to be the last episode for this series. Hope you have enjoyed the whole thing overall, and hopefully it's been a nice, interesting, chill one for you. If you have any suggestions for the next series of Prison Architect, whenever that happens to be, whether it be, you know, for type of prisons that we get, the size of the prison, the type of prison that we go for in terms of prisoner category, or whether it be based on reform or education, lots of people working, lots of people not, more lockdown, lots of solitary, how harsh the regime is and our policies, etc., then by all means let me know in the comments, and as always we will go from there. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings. And there's going to be an evisceration in the comments about this. Oh well.